Welcome back to Tauri Updater Part 3. In this video, we've already got a 1.0 version that can check for updates, and now we're going to try and make a 2.0 or 0.20 version that's available up on Github. So that's our goal. That's the agenda, 0.20 version. So all we have to do is modify a few files. So we've got the package JSON, Tauri config JSON, and the UI updated to just show the 0.20 version. So now we build, and it should be able to pick up the public and private keys due to the environment variables, since this is Windows. And we need to double check some of these signature keys. And we're going to do it manually first. I found that helps to make sure that what we've built looks correct before uploading it to GitHub. The one thing I found was the Tauri Updater uses the base 64 encoded information, and the mini sign tool, command line tool, does not use base 64. So things have to be a little bit decoded manually to manually check the signatures. Okay, so we've got our 1.0 and 2.0 versions. Now let's decode things, and that's the public key that we want to double check. So just an online decoder. There's our public key, and that's the decoded public key. So that's what we want to use with our command line check. And also the build created that .sig file, but that's base64 encoded too. So we're going to copy the sig file to a decoded sig file and take that entire sig information and decode it. The other thing I found was that it wants all of that information in the command line for the decoded sig. So now we've got enough to run that mini sign exe command line. And with these command lines, I'm specifying the decoded sig file and the decoded public key in the command line. And it's checking the setup exe. And result says signatures verified for that exe. So that means what we have in the SIG is correct. So now on our GitHub gist file, the latest.json, it's pretty easy to create a gist file. To me, the part that was confusing is signatures, URL, and things like that. So we're going to provide a public latest.json saying there's a 0.20 version available. And we're going to take the encoded SIG information and put that in this latest JSON. And then it's also going to say where to go and find the exe. So here's where we upload. I'm going to write what I already have here, because every time you build, you get a new exe and SIG file. And the other thing that I had some problems with is the URL has to be the raw version, not the blob. That's what I found. So now when you go to that raw URL, it's going to find the latest JSON showing the 0.20 setup with the correct matching signature information. So that's our server-side support, checking it via URL and make sure we have that particular setup exe uploaded. Now we do a verification by running the 1.0 version. And I'm just switching these to 1.0 again so I can run it in dev mode. So this we'll start it out in dev mode, and we can see the print line statements, and it should be able to go out, find that latest JSON, know there's an upgrade, and download it and install it. There's the downloads. Lifecycle ends because that exe ended, and now we're running the 2.0 version. And if we refresh the control panel, we see that the 0.20 is installed, even though we launched the 1.0. And if we go back and run our 1.0 setup, it should install. As soon as it runs, it upgrades to the 2.0 version. That's it. Automatic upgrades with Tauri Updater. Thanks.